Alright, hello, so, welcome back. As you can see here, I'm at a theme park. The question is, which one? Let's go in, and really slow movement, thank you, lag. Cha! There you go, is the park. This park, let's get a better view. As this park, it contains 7 rides, and you might recognize some of them if you're English. Like this one here should be pretty recognizable. Of course, the park I'm talking about is Swatorn, which is not a real park, but every letter of the name Swatorn is the first letter of each of these roller coasters' names, and if I go to the attractions and the shops, it should become quite obvious. Oblivion, Rita, Wicker Man, Nemesis, 13, and the Smiler. Yep, I've made the Alton Towers roller coasters. Badly. Okay, so, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna shut all the roller coasters, I'm gonna test them. Now, they all work, it's just, you know... I feel like the best place to start, just, like, in an ideal world where there's no queues for anything at Alton Towers, which is kind of what it's like every time I go when it's a running event. I feel like the good place to start is the Wicker Man, because people like that one, but it's not too intense, you know. It's just a wooden coaster. Anyway, yes, we're gonna give this a go if I can get to the start test button. Start test. Alright, let's get on it. Okay, we are on the coaster. Right, so you got your first little turnaround, another little turnaround, and I think I've exaggerated the length, but this is one of the weirdest lift hills, like, ever. Because you go up here, that's all good, and then it just, the angle just changes, because Alton Towers have to stay below the tree line, so they had to turn the angle of the lift hill. Anyway, it's not going to be perfect, but I didn't build any structures, so this would be enclosed in a tunnel until about this point. And then that's back into a tunnel, and then back out. It really is about as bumpy as this looks. You know, we've got a little curve around, it's not bad. Quick little hill. That's the airtime hill through the Wicker Man. I really couldn't be bothered to build the Wicker Man. Who has time for that? This is the one bit where it falls flat, like, this is alright, but then it loses almost all of its speed at this point, and that's not great. But, up and down, do another curve around through the Wicker Man. Then up and to the left a little. And then you get just the really long brake run into push tires. It's long. It's just long. Like you can see the stations there, so I'm not gonna make you suffer through the rest of that. But yes, that one's good to go. That's good to go. So you can see it didn't quite make it on Excitement and Fear, but it's not nauseating very much. That's good. I feel like your next option is from Wicker Man is to head towards what the Forbidden Valley would be. So we're gonna go to Nemesis and Air. We'll do Nemesis. Okay. So for those who don't know, Nemesis is currently under quite a big old retrack. There it is. Good old Nemi. It's don't know how well you can see it. Planet coaster controls are a bit janky sometimes. But hey, there you go. I gave it the black and red look from the new track, so that's kind of cool. Alright, anyway, yeah, let's give this one a go, shall we? Start the test, get the camera, get over to middle right. Here we go, Nemesis. This is one of those coasters that we all have to act like is the best coaster in the world because we're British and this is kind of our thing, but it's not. It's not. It's alright, it's a pretty fun inversion coaster, but you know, a few inversions, whatever, but it's just alright. But yeah, look at that, they've got a nice little roll there, it's not bad. Could have done that being banked out a little more. This is the weird part. That corkscrew over the station, yep, I lost a little bit of speed there, and I don't really get that speed back for a while, until I get down this little drop. There we go, up into the big loop. And then we're going to go up to the left. That's all good. A little spin. It's a bit slow. It's not great. And then curve around back to the station. As you can see, the other one's just at the top of the station there. Look at that. Anyway, so yeah, that's Nemesis. That's good to go. Again, it didn't quite make it on Excitement and Fear, but it was good on the nausea levels. Don't want nausea. So then after you've done Nemesis, you're most likely going to head towards a little coaster called Air. Oh, I mean, Galactica. But, you know, I still call it Air because, let's face it, it was better as Air. The Galactica overlay was just a massive failure. Virtual reality roller coasters just, they don't work. SeaWorld in Orlando tried, Alton Towers tried, they just don't work. But anyway, yeah, this is Air. So I'm good. This one, this is probably my most problematic coaster. The excitement's low, the fear's high, the nausea's high. Apparently it exceeds ride exceeds G-force limits. And here's the interesting one. You can get a map of the G-forces. So for this one, it's just there's this one curve here, a little after the first inversion when you're on your back. That's just a little too G-force. Lateral. Vertical, there's no problem with that. And forward, yes, it's just really that one turn, so I could iron that out if I wanted to, but I really can't be bothered. Not for right now, at least. No He-Man. Alright, so let's start the test. Why is it starting me in this train? That's what I want to know. Alright, I guess it's a flying coaster, so you would be looking down. I decided to put a lagoon in. Now, you see, when they made the ride, they wanted it to be over water and everything. They wanted to make it like a paradise kind of thing, but they didn't really have time for that. So, like for example, the last little curve is a lovely little view of the car park. But yeah, here we go. Up the I sped up all the chain lifts because, you know, I'm impatient. A little down, little dip, up, down again, and through where the Galactica portal would be. Spin around onto your back. That's that curve that we seem to have a problem with. This is pretty smooth going otherwise so far. Until about here. Where I kind of just lose most of my speed going into this inversion. Little up, little down, little curve around banked. Little back in. And there you have it. So yeah, it's not that bad. It's just it loses speed at the. Okay. Yeah, look at the way you're seated. You're just kind of facing down. But yeah, it kind of loses its speed at that one bit, and then it just the G-force. But I feasibly I could fix that if I wanted to. Losing money. Anyway, from there, like from Forbidden Valley, it's a good idea to take a gondola over to the Dark Forest. I'm gonna start with Rita, former Queen of Speed. This is my only replica coaster that actually came out perfectly okay. Excitement 6.58, the Fear 5.95, Nausea 2.5. Like it, why does this one coaster work? Like, I have one other coaster that gets green on all three of these ratings here, but I did have to make edits to it to make the ride actually work. So this is the only coaster I built that genuinely does its job right. Anyway, we're gonna test Rita. Alright, let's go. Like, you know what? Like, Rita's alright. It's an alright track. Like, it's not. Like, look at that launch. That could have been a bit more banked, but it's nothing perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. I think I smoothed it out too much on the banking. But yeah, like, it's an alright coaster. It's fun. Like, you like the launch and everything. It's just like there's not much else to it afterwards. But it's a fun little minute. It's a brake run, quite nicely back round. It's slightly downhill, so the car carries itself. It's yeah, that's like genuine. That's quite a nice coaster, to be honest. Like there's really not much to complain about. Like Rita's fun. Okay, so we're gonna open Rita now. Alright. 13. John Wardley, forgive me. This is absolutely disgusting what I've done with 13, but I had no other choice. Well, I mean, first of all, what is that right there? What? Look at that weird little... No, it's just... We'll get to that. But also, disgustingly, this is a hybrid coaster. It was the only coaster I could get that kind of had the ride vehicle style that 13 has, but also allows inversions. Like, 13 doesn't have inversions, but I needed one, so we did what we did. It's just disgusting to look at. It's not great. Alright, regardless, we're gonna give it a go. Note, little drop down, that's alright. Gives us a bit of speed to get around this curve to the chain lift, which I've made it really fast just so we can get through it. Well, as fast as this will allow. 14 miles an hour. But, there you go. Go down. Like, look at all that wooden structuring. It's horrible. This isn't right. Up and over into a nice little hill. Like, the first half is it's a respectable track. Like, it's alright. Like, can't complain. It's a bit basic. It's just kind of going around. Then it goes into this chain lift way too fast. And into the crypt. That ride was a bit timid. But instead, we don't have drop tracks on Planet Coaster. So I had to improvise. And so I did this disgusting maneuver. And then this bit would all be backwards. And I don't even know if this is right, because you can't really see what's going on in there. And then it would flick back round to forward, so I did a little U-turn there. Genuinely, like, it's just horrible. Look at that! What the hell is that? Can't even. Like, the things I had to do to make 13 work. I'll open that. Now we get on to, and this one took a long time because I tried to make it height accurate. We're going back to the X sector for Oblivion. As you can see, it goes down there, around there, but a lot of that is underground. Alright, let's give Oblivion a run. Actually, let's do where I sat on it last time I went. Seat 5. Up the lift hill to 65 feet high above the ground. Little curve around to the left. Don't look down. There we go. Into the giant hole. Out the other side. Into a little curve around. That's my problem with that one, is it loses speed there. I'm surprised it got over this massively steep hill into the long brake run. And yeah, that's where we go there. So that's Oblivion. As you could see, it wasn't exciting enough or fearful enough, but nausea was fine. Forgot to mention on 13, same again, not enough excitement and fear, it worked on the nausea. And then we get on to this thing here. The Smiler. Now, we've got a few things to note. First of all, you're going to notice that vertical lift hill is looking a bit dodgy. Well, you see, you're very limited on vertical lift hills with this game. Like, only the Typhoon-style coaster allows vertical lift hills. And when it does, it either has to be this, which is a slightly far-in drop, or it has to be one of those ones like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shower Razor in New Jersey with the really steep inlets. So, you know, options were limited, so this technically has 15 inversions because of the point where you're upside down here. And, you know, it kind of, it's a bit weird. Additionally, you're going to notice on the track, here, there's a launch to help you get around the really shoddily made Sea Serpent. And also here, because it kept stalling in the Batwing maneuver, and that's a bad sign. That's not something you want happening when we're talking about the Smiler. So, but hey, look at all those greens. 6.67 excitement, 4.41 fear, 2.3 nausea. Somehow not as fear as Rita, and that shocks me. I don't understand it, but alright, so we're gonna give this one a test. Oh, the Wicker Man broke down. I don't... Okay. I'm on the back train. What? Alright, there you go. So we go at the station. I didn't want to build the whole building. Those take forever. We curve around left and we go into a nice little hotline roll. See, that's alright. This lift hill seems bigger than it actually is, I think. But, now we got the lift hill. Up and over. Do a little downwards right and into what I believe to be a corkscrew. It's a really badly made one. Down here into dive loop 1. Into, I think I failed at making dive loop 2. It's still an immersion, though. Airtime hill. Into the Batwing after a nice little cheeky little LSM launch because it couldn't make it round. Up and over into a corkscrew. And that would be 7. Brake run, vertical chain lift here. And then the really weird steep drop, and we're going to take a turn. I think that's a corkscrew. We're going to up and over. Sea Serpent Roll, part 1 and part 2. We're going to go down into this really shaky thing. Airtime Hill, Cobra Roll. So that's part 1 and part 2. And then, oh, this is so disgusting, such a grossly made double corkscrew. 1, the angle just changes. 2, and then we curve back around into the station. And that's that. You got all sorts of little angles here that you can do. It's quite cool. Look over there, you got 3 other cars going around at once. I've employed block sectioning because I didn't want another Smiler crash. So although that car was very close to hitting it in the station, because you see, like, there's little block sections that are going to stop the cars if one fails to make it round or something. Yeah, look, you got that one up down that left hill. This car here, that one's still going around the track. The other thing is, the Smiler is 4x4, but well, the Typhoon, it's essentially just a Eurofighter, so we had to go with the 2x4. It's it is what it is. That corkscrew is quite smooth, actually. I'm okay with that one. Then you go with the vertical chain lift. Into this dodgy little sideways thing. Look at that. Side on. There's an inversion. That's quite nice. It's pretty smooth. Launch. Look at how, like, that's such a janky sea serpent though. And then, yep, Airtime Hill. Cobra Roll. Could have done with being a bit more banked at that sticky out bit. And then just look at that. Look, oh, just the angle of the corkscrew just kind of changes. I needed to get it to go around that track, so it is what it is. Yeah, there you go. That's that. So go. The whole park's open. So that was my attempt to recreate the Alton Towers coasters. Shockingly, the best one is Rita, and that's strange. What's going on here? Is Oblivion not open? Okay. And Wicker Man is broken down for reasons unknown. Well, I better hire a mechanic. So that's going to be all for today, and hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you, and goodbye.